So today's 21.
Hopefully we'll be more focused than yesterday.
I seriously doubt it, so...
Yeah, well, we'll see. So this one, Arabicadabra. I'm impressed that I could still say that one. This is from Comstock, Michigan. Brewed and bottled by Bell's Brewery, Inc.
That's interesting, because yesterday we went out to Destination Dogs in New Brunswick.
Yep.
And Bell's was up there. I don't think we had it, because they had a pale ale from Bell's, and we didn't actually have it.
Interesting.
But it was the first time I'd heard of Bell's distillery. I was interested because Bell's is a very famous producer of really shitty blended whiskey in England.
Okay.
And I know, because growing up, my parents would drink, every night they would drink their blended
They partner
whiskey.
with whistles.
Yeah. So my parents used to drink the Claymore, which is a blended Scotch whiskey, and then Bell's was like, my parents were like, we don't do Bell's.
Yeah.
Like, we do the Claymore, and then if you go up, there's the famous Grouse, which is like the decent blend.
Yeah. So I would assume that this, getting back to this, first of all, blended whiskey is horrible. It's just my hot take.
Look at the head on that, that's gorgeous.
This is amazing head. And Arabicadabra, I would imagine it's some sort of coffee stout.
Yeah, we should
So
maybe
let's
read the...
We should probably read the label. That smells like coffee. I like it because it's got like a Houdini-esque... It's not quite... It's interesting because it looks a little bit like Houdini, who I only know what he looks like because of the ride at Great Adventure. It looks a little bit like Houdini. It's clearly a magician, and then it's over a coffee cup. So
yeah, this is coffee milk stout. I watched a very interesting video by Prince Ia, who's some very big social media star, about Houdini, who is of course an amazing escape artist.
Yeah.
He used to say, if I can walk in my street clothes, I can get out of any jail cell within an hour.
Houdini said that?
Yes. And so there was this prison right down in the deep south, and they're like, we'll take you up on that, boy. And so they brought him down, and they let him into the jail cell, and they shut the door. And then he immediately took off his jacket, he whipped off his belt, and he had a steel rod in there. And he started trying to pick the lock. And he just could not make it click. And after... He said he was going to escape within an hour. After 2 hours, he gave up, and he's like, I can't do it.
I'd never heard that story before.
And then he tried the door, and it was unlocked. Wow. And that was the thing. It was like, it was unlocked the whole time. They'd never locked him in. And
that sounds like a Saw trick.
Yeah. And that was the whole point was, it was like so many of our...
in front of, it was in front of his eyes the whole time.
Yeah, and it was like we lock ourselves in with stuff that is open all the time.
Interesting.
Anyway,
did you ever hear the story? Quick side note. Did you ever hear the story about when Tina? It was like a couple of years ago. Tina and I went with my aunt and Martin down to New Brunswick. Chris Angel was having a show at the State Theater.
I was there.
You were there. You were when
yes, I recorded it and wrote an article for Echo Base about it, where the guy was locked in and he couldn't get out, and they ended up having to.
I legitimately don't remember you being there. You were really there?
Yes. I was really there, and I even wrote an article about it.
I don't think you were there.
He was there.
Really?
Yeah.
He drove in the car with us?
Yeah.
I don't think he drove in the car with us, because I distinctly remember sitting in the front seat.
No, I don't think I did. I think I actually left, because I think I left...
Because you were working, yeah.
Yeah, I left Catalans and came specifically for this.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting, because I don't remember you... I remember more of the car ride, but yeah. So remember the... Yeah. So you were there too?
Yes.
Interesting. Okay. So the magician, raised himself in a glass of water and then didn't get out. And
we were watching, we're like, wow, they're really putting the suspense in this. They're really... Whoa, okay, this is not good.
No, it was really, the guy almost died.
Yeah, they lifted him out and they carried him into an ambulance that was right there. We were like... Whoa. Because I remember I wrote an article for Echo Base about it because it was did Chris Angel just nearly kill somebody?
I mean, I would imagine that they go through that a lot. Because, you have to practice and, you're not good in the beginning.
What's that old saying? It's you can parachute and skydive. No, so you can skydive without a parachute, just not twice.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Let's get into Bell's Arabicadabra.
Very, very strong coffee taste. I like it.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
very...
you can definitely taste the coffee. That's such a front taste for that.
This is a really nice, like, we've had so many. It's so interesting because you brought along. We did like 4 in a day, and they were all with different flavors, and it was all really interesting. The last batch you've done have all been like straight up milk stouts.
We've done like 10 stouts / porters in a row. It's crazy. I know. Maybe we could finish out the month with that.
Yeah.
What are we up to? The 21st.
21st. Yeah.
21st. Wow. So we got 7 more. We have a full week left to do.
But this is terrific. But I think it's interesting because I find it interesting when, instead of doing interesting, funny things with different flavors and stuff, you go, right, let's just do a coffee milk stout. Let's just do a milk stout. Let's see how we can vary it up.
Right, I was going to say, I'm not going to lie, like, a lot of the times, so basically the only parameter we put on ourselves for this year, for Feb-Brew-Ary, was no IPAs, because we're so tired of IPAs, and they're not, I don't like them anymore. Roland doesn't like them anymore. Maybe we'll loop back, but I doubt it. But yeah, I mean, like, I'll go through a liquor store and, like, go to buy beer, and I'm like, that's a really cool name. I like that name. Like, Mocha Lisa, Arabicadabra, basically any of the ones we did in the last, like, 10 episodes. Yeah, I mean, we're, like, the names are really what catches my eye, and then...
I think it's really interesting, because I've always liked my shitty European lagers. And then I've said it's like cycling your greens. They all kind of taste the same, but you need to like cycle them, I think. Then there's the IPAs, which is kind of like, how masochistic can you get in the amount of hops you can add to it? It's like you drink it.
Yeah, I was going to say, I'm not a big fan of that.
But with the porters and the stouts, it's like you have the room to experiment and do really different things and yet still make a nice, drinkable beer.
Yeah, because they always... I mean, the thing is, they're really into, like, the coffee thing, which I think is also appealing to you and I, because I genuinely like the taste of coffee. Like, for a while, I was, like, really into, like, lattes and macchiatos, and I'm like, you know what, I started drinking black coffee, and I'm like, you know what, I really like the taste of coffee. As do you. Like,
I mean, I really am physiologically addicted to coffee.
Right,
and
because
I
feel like
function without it.
the thing is, like, most people who are like, oh, I need my coffee in the morning. You don't need your coffee, you need the sugar.
Yeah.
Like, they're addicted to the sugar that they're putting in their coffee.
I'm very proud of the fact that I am addicted to the caffeine.
To the caffeine, right.
Yeah.
No, but it's like the coffee flavor, the chocolate flavor I really like. I mean, like, even going back to Evil Genius, the caramel macchiato porter or stout, whatever it was, that was an amazing beer. That was truly one of the best beers we've ever had. And then, what was the one we said rivaled it? That was the...
that was the...
Is that the 14% one?
That was the 14% one.
The Space Side.
The Space Side. That was amazing.
Yeah, I had to check our notes.
But that was interesting. That was the Space Side one made by Duggars or Doug.
Yeah. Dugs. It's Dugges.
Yeah, and that was interesting because you could almost, I mean, you drank it, I could almost taste like the brown sugar crystals.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
So,
but this is
great.
Yeah.
I mean, we're truly like, I was nervous going into filming today. Obviously, we do batch filming, as you can tell by our shirts, and because the last time we filmed was amazing. It was like home run after home run after home run, and I was like, like, are we gonna be able to continue this? Like, and we did. Like, they were all really good. It's interesting because we're getting into these beers where, like, even when we're like critical of them, it's like, well, this wasn't as good as that one, but that one was amazing. You know what I mean? It's like, well, you know, The Sound of Music wasn't as good as Schindler's. I don't know why I chose The Sound of Music. I don't really like The Sound of Music. It's on the AFI Top 100, but it was like, well, you know, this movie isn't as good as Citizen Kane, but, like, Citizen Kane is the greatest movie of all time. You know what I mean? Like, so it's basically like we're kind of like reaching our point of like the Citizen Kane, Casablanca, Godfather. Like, those are in like one echelon, and then like Singing in the Rain, Schindler's List,
That's a really interesting one just to like throw in there. It's like Singing in the Rain. Schindler's List.
Well, no, because Schindler's List is number 8 on the AFI Top 100. So, AFI Top 100, according to the 2007 list, was Citizen Kane number 1, Casablanca number 2, Godfather number 3. I believe I always forget which one was 2 and 3, but those are the top 3. And then I forgot what 4 is. 5 is Singing in the Rain. Schindler's List was number 8. 10 is, I want to say The Wizard of Oz is 10. So, like, you have, like, those top 10, which are, like, good, really good movies. Like, they're the 10 greatest movies of, you know, American movies of all time. But it's like, well, it's not as good as, you know, as Citizen Kane or Casablanca or The Godfather.
But you're right, and then you have like a...
And then it's like,
IPA,
right, and you're like...
Sharknado.
Right, exactly. Like, we haven't had a Sharknado beer in the past week and a half. We've basically just been having, like, The Searchers and, you know, I can't think of any of the other ones in the top. The Searchers was number 12. I can't remember any of the ones in the top 10. Oh, Vertigo is number 7, I believe. So.
Oh, I got the soundtrack for those old Hitchcock movies.
Yeah, oh yeah. Good job, Hitchcock. Good job, Arabicadabra.
Yes,
we're on right now.
I think this is probably a good thing that, like, out of our batch filming, this is probably a good point to like, end it.
This is a good point to end it. We'll see you tomorrow for February 22nd, going into our 4th and final week of filming February. And, yeah, we're getting ready to go to Atlantic City tomorrow.
I like it, yes.
Yeah, cool.